Hi guys, it's Stacy and I'm going to give you an updated tour of what I call my craft space or my craft room with our dining room table in it because it really only gets used for crafting. I don't have a dedicated craft room, so we make do with what we have. So I'm just going to start on one end, and I did this a couple years ago, so it's changed a bit. And I'll show you a little bit more of what I have in my drawers and stuff, which I didn't last time. So that up there holds my 6x6 paper. This is 6x6, 6x8, 6x6 and 6x8 paper in there. I've got, and I've got some like ephemera up in there that goes with those pads. So, just put it down. Whoops. See, so I keep my 6x6, 6x8, and then if it has a matching ephemera, I go ahead and put it in there for now. Okay. And then there's like buttons and bells and different, there's beads back there. There's some colored beads. And then like snowflakes, and I keep my gesso up here for my different projects that I do, and some glitter. And then, as you can see, it's just kind of a little catch-all. That's a project I need to finish. This is a project I made and didn't finish before Christmas for my grandson. It's with air dry clay. And it's got tin foil and wire armature. He loves dinosaurs. I got to seal it and paint it still. My distress inks are all in all these, and those are just extra. I don't think I showed you guys last time what was in here, but there's like his little baby shark stamps in here and some like washi tape and thread. It's kind of like a little junk drawer. Some glitter glue, and then my perfect pearls and glitter glue. That's my husband's. That is for his vinyl. We haven't actually had to use it yet. And then these have sewing stuff in it, like thread, zippers, binding, extra spare needles for my sewing machine, all that kind of fun stuff. And then cutters like for my clay. And then that's an old Stampin' Up! Ink stand with Stampin' Up! Ink and the reinkers. And then I'll show you the drawers. And there's my lovely treadmill that I don't have room for. I always keep a towel to wipe my sweat. But this is like a mixed media drawer. There's like distress micas in here. There's homemade distress stains in here. There's a little bit of watercolor paper, paper stubs. There's paint in here. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a brayer. There's embossing powders. Same thing, kind of mix. This is more geared towards alcohol ink. And then I have some chalk paint in here because I do ornaments with this. Some Mod Podge. There's a blower for the alcohol ink, and then like spare epoxy that I got from Hobby Lobby on clearance. You guys, I use the Heart epoxy, which is not out here because they're in big giant jugs. There's my smell good drawer. My wax melts are in here. This drawer smells so good. My spare thing for paint or watercolor. I got gloves for mixed media. A little tub here for paint or water, and then I keep spare microfiber towels in there. There's my camcorder, which I don't film on anymore. I use my phone. UV ultra thick embossing powder, that's triple thick, and then extra spray bottles, and my sewing machine pedal. And then that's just extra pencils, pens, highlighters, the printer paper and whatnot. And then here's my husband's drawers for his vinyl and Cricut stuff. And then under there's like a couple of boxes I keep of ink for the grandkids to play with. And then a couple of spare cutters or paper trimmers. And then here's a whole drawer full of ink. And another drawer full of ink and my Arteza pens. And then this is my diamond painting drawer. And then there's some tape in here, and that's for diamond painting. And then I keep hot glue and some spare hot glue. And then I just put my grandson's. He usually has a few diapers in here. And then here's some sleeves for my stamps and dies. A couple of spare little art books for my son. And then I have my label maker and cords, extra cords in there. And then there's my air dry clay and stuff for my epoxy. Spare paper for the grandkids, like thinner construction paper. And then more for my clay and epoxy. And then this bookshelf, I believe, was here last time. It's where I keep my printer, my die cutting machine. There's my cardstock I use for my card bases, and then heavy black cardstock and tan like neutrals. These are currently empty. This one is. This one is just some stamps I purchased recently from a D-Stash from Crafty Bean. I haven't found a home for them yet. I organized all my colored cardstock, so they're just put in sheet protectors, and then there's like glitter and white cardstock that I let the grandkids use instead of my stuff I use for coloring. And then I have like envelopes in there. This is my grandson's art bin here. He's got his little Bible and stuff in there. And then there's some spare wood blocks and Stampin' Up. Most of my stuff for that is out in the garage. This is still in the same spot. My, desktop computer out here that we mainly use for watching YouTube or surfing the internet. And then these are projects that I'm currently working on, so I keep a spot for them. These were from blanks from the Dollar Tree. They were wooden blanks, and I used Distress ink and painted them with Distress ink. And then sealed them with Mod Podge, and then that one's got the epoxy poured over it and the bead, because I'm going to put a hanger on the back so that they can hang their hoodies on them when they're done. And I have one for each of my grandsons, but they're not completed yet. Those two need the epoxy poured. I'm waiting for it to warm up before I can do that, because it takes a long time when it's cold. This desk is new. Before I had a smaller desk. I got this from Facebook Marketplace. Most of my room craft area is from Facebook Marketplace. It's pieced together. So I keep brushes back there in the jar holder, some spare washi, which my grandson uses mainly when he comes over and he draws, and he hangs them on the fridge. This is where I sit and I do my recording, my voiceovers for my videos. This is new. So this is my husband's. Not mine. I don't even know how to use it, honestly. The spare hard drive or flash drive for the MacBook. That way I don't have to take up all the space. I use a Yeti, the blue Yeti mic. And then there's extra Copic nibs and whatnot in there. There's action wobblers in there. These just have some paper clips, and I believe those are push pins back there. And then I keep like this little tray for diamond painting, but I use it for my extra like embellishments and whatnot and sequins to put in there when I'm putting the card together. Those are my wood block stamps that I use on the back of my cards, and some spare cutting blades for the Cricut. And then here's some more shaker bits and embellishments, and then glue dots, and there's some like binder clips and stuff in there. I keep some embossing powder in here. Like, I don't keep all my embossing powder in here. Most of it is stored in the garage that is like colors and whatnot. This is clear, white, metallics, and then I use these inks for splattering my cleaner. So as you can see, there's like a water bottle in here and rubbing alcohol when I do alcohol ink. I keep my blending brushes in here, my smaller ones in here, my ink blending tools here with all the sponges, because I don't use them that often because I use them for oxides. I use these for dye ink. Twine, you can see what's in there. And then I keep some glitter glue and whatnot up here, and then like little shaker bits, and then some flowers, and then that's still up here. Watercolors, watercolor paper. There's some more watercolors and watercolor paper. It's a Bristol Smooth. My husband got those for me. Last time I was here, I think it was 101 or 103. That's how much weight I've lost. I said before, if you want to know how, ask me. I'll tell you in the comments. The wood blocks that I like. And then my Distress Oxide. And then I put some other, I forget what brand that is, close to my heart. And it's way up high because I hung that up too high. And I can't reach it. Oh, I hang my foam tape there, scissors, whatnot. And I got this pegboard and a ton of accessories that don't even fit on it. And I'll show you some other pieces on Facebook Marketplace. Search your Facebook Marketplace. You can get some really good deals. I keep the ink I use most often for stamping in here. There is another side to it that there's embossing powder in, and then I pull this out and it spins. It's on a Lazy Susan for when I use my Gemini. Usually I pull these out when I'm filming to have extra light. This I typically use and bring over because I do a lot of Copic coloring, and I set it on my desk, and when I pick my colors, I put them in here as I'm coloring and filming. That way I can keep them all together. And if somebody has a question, I can list what they are. It's just water, rubbing alcohol. I keep my stamp chamois in here, and they usually stay moist for quite a while. And they don't seem to mildew in there. There's my hot glue gun. And extra plates for the Gemini, and a stamp cleaner, and a little self-healing cutting mat. I keep paste there. This one is for wax. This is where I keep, hopefully this isn't too bad, guys. This is where I keep my wipes, paper towels, and microfiber towel for when I'm crafting. These are my colored pencils, the Faber-Castell. Then I have Polychromos in here. And then I have more here. I have Derwent, and then some watercolor pencils. And then a little paper trimmer for cutting down small strips or whatever. And then I got these in a Black Friday box from Simon Says Stamp. I do like them. I use them often with my ink. These are Distress Oxides in here, and spritz, and just a little spray bottle. I keep my Gamasol on a cotton ball in this little spice container that I cleaned, and then the bottle here. And then I think there's more paste, and there's some Hero wax back in there, some decals that my husband made. And then that's like stamps and whatnot for when I mail cards. I did show you that. There's my Distress inks. This is Facebook Marketplace too. So is this, guys. I'm telling you to look for, look, that was from Facebook Market. No, that one I bought on Amazon. Ink blending tools. I keep spare inks there because I don't have all the Distress inks. There's spare chalk paint and wax up there, and then my acrylic paint, and then some squeezy paint bottles, and then extra re-inkers. I keep my blowtorch up there so the kids can't get it for when I do epoxy. Here's my, my jerry-rigged fix-all for keeping the glare down. It softens the light, but it doesn't completely keep it down. It's just vellum. I was going to take it down. My husband said, no, leave it up. Let them see. That's the boom that I use, that I attach my camera to. It also has a thing that I can put here to attach to my camcorder if I want to. And then that was one of the first bags I ever sewed, and it's got some of my hand weights in it that are as a counterweight. My heat guns there hanging on a hook. I keep my most used pins there, like white gel pins. Let me move my chair. This was a Facebook Marketplace find too, and it was basically brand new when I got it. So was this. Someone used this for those oils, the essential oils, and I got it, and I use it for my Copics. I turn it on its side. I keep my pencils there. I keep my color swatch charts here for my Copics. This is a little dish I use when I do die cut, so I could keep the pieces in there. And whoops, see, that's not the greatest, is it? I keep my colored pencils and pencil sharpener in there. That's the only thing I don't like about this thing, is it's not deep enough to keep all my markers in there. So if I tap them, they fall, which happens once in a while. Just extra fussy cutting scissors and whatnot. Like I said, I keep my white gel pens, like a mechanical pencil in there, a writing pen. My most used pens are in there for card making. I just keep this acrylic rock because when I color on camera, I put my lids there so people can see the numbers. I use this little magnetic, it's for sewing, for needles. I put my pin in there so I can find it. And then I just started keeping my Bearly Art Glue in this little milk jug to hold it so that it'll stay in the tip of the bottle so it doesn't clog up as easily. Another OttLite. And I keep my most used scissors in there, my little grabby hands, my fussy cutting scissors, and a wax tip embellishment placer, whatever you call it. This is card bases. There's card scraps in there. It's the main stuff I use, and then some of the stuff that I've die cut that I haven't used yet. Same thing. I use vellum to cover this up to help with the glare. It still puts out a glare, but it's not as jarring. I keep like pearls, enamel dots, like those sorts of embellishments in here, gemstones. Up there are the other kinds like stickers, twine, ephemera that's shaped, or embellishments. Up there is spare label making stuff. These are just hold pencils and acrylic blocks that don't get used very often, so they can stay up there. This is the same as I had before. It's where I keep my stamps and my dies. Most of the stamps are, if they have coordinating dies, I keep them with the stamps. If not, I'll show you where they're at. This was my first bag I ever sewed, and I keep my hand weights in here that counterbalance this, so hopefully it doesn't move as much. And then down there is where I keep my dies and some of my background stamps because they're heavy in this very tall bookcase and I don't want it to fall on anybody. This usually moves around the house with me, whatever project I'm crocheting. I just use the bag, put the current stuff in there. It's got my crochet hooks, etc. in there. This stand I got on Facebook Marketplace from the same woman I got the pegboard from. She was super nice. I keep my sewing machine on it. These are the clips I use to hold my projects when I'm sewing, and pins. On this, I just slide it out. If I need a paper trimmer, I pull that out. There is an extra glass mat in here. This has my scoreboard and then my gel plate. Is that what that's called? I don't know. I've only used it a few times. I want to keep experimenting with it. Here are my woodblock stamps, and I just keep them in these, and I need to label them. I don't use them that often. I have more. Like, I have a bunch of stuff in my garage, guys. I need like another room. Here's a ruler that I use for sewing, my envelope punch board, more things of wooden stamps. Under here is kind of the same. I have these alcohol markers that I bought first before I got Copics. They're actually pretty good, but I keep them for the grandkids. Those are like Prismacolor and Spectrum Noir ones that I let the kids use. Air dry clay, some spare fusing for sewing, and another dust mat. I've got a light board back here. I keep a lot of stuff in here, guys. I cram it in there. And that's for my diamond painting back here. And this woman gave me this rolling cart for free along with that Cricut thing. I keep extra wipes. Here's a little pencil bag. There's spare parts for the pegboard and some more things I need to hang that I got from that woman. In here I keep a spare roll of paper towels. These I use as in my friction pins for sewing and whatnot. Spare paper cutter. These are brand new Copics. Hopefully I'll meet 1,000 subbies and be doing a giveaway at some point in my life. There's foam tape. Foam tape in there. There's foam strips. There's two-sided glue or like a tape. And then down below here, I have stencils. I have spare plates for the die cutting machine. I've got embossing folders and a couple of spare stamps. I keep these. That one has felt. That one has some crafting stuff like for 3D projects, and one has envelopes, and then in the back I have diamond paintings. See, and this just slides under my desk. I have diamond paintings and whatnot under there too, and I use every inch I can. This has got a bunch of different stamps in it, like the smaller ones. I keep my 12 by 12 paper in here, and I don't know what size that is. And this drawer is even open. I've got to pull more paper that I can keep in here. I keep cards. If you guys would like me to go through at some point and give you a tour of all the cards I have, let me know. More 12 by 12. There's some kits I bought from Joann's in there. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I think I covered everything. Oh, this is a keyboard drawer. I don't use it as a keyboard drawer. I keep my Misty in there, my other stamping platforms. There's the Tim Holtz one back there too. And then this is like scraps of paper that I keep in there. And it's real easy. Pulls out, rolls back in. And then, yeah, I think that's it. My craft room with a dining room table in it. Haha. Yeah, but as you could see my living room out there. It's completely open to the rest of the house. So, just use what you have. Like, I don't think it's bad, guys. I have worked really hard to organize it, and every time I find a deal, I purchase it and I update my craft room at some point, or my craft area, and at some point, hopefully I'll have a spare room to put it in, but for now, I don't. So, use what you have, and I feel very blessed to have the space I do. And if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll answer them down in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.